According to a recent poll of 1 million employed people, the number one reason people quit their jobs is because of a bad boss or immediate supervisor. In fact, 75% of workers who voluntarily left their jobs did so because of their bosses and not the position itself. Ultimately, people leave managers and not companies. So with this in mind, let's take a look at the different styles of management and leadership that are available to you. The first style we're going to look at is Autocratic. Autocratic is the name of a management style within which one person controls all the decisions and takes very little input, if any, from other stakeholders such as employees. Managers who are autocratic in nature basically make decisions based on their own beliefs and don't take into consideration the views of people around them. Put simply, they expect to give a command and be obeyed. Autocratic management does have a place in business and can be effective in organisations where decisions need to be made quickly and the manager is solely responsible for the outcome over the short term. This is because they are able to make decisions without consulting others, thus reacting promptly in comparison to other management styles. However, the autocratic style is not typically seen as a long-term approach to management, with many experts suggesting it can lead to employees not feeling valued, which leads to decreased morale and high employee turnover. The second style we're going to look at is democratic. A key characteristic of the democratic leadership style is where members of the team have increased participation in the decision-making process. Ultimately, the manager is still the person who makes the decision, but every team member is encouraged to engage in conversation around future decisions and how the business develops. Experts in the field of management argue that this is one of the most effective styles of management, as employees typically feel more valued, which in turn leads them to engaging freely in business development initiatives and ultimately increases production and performance levels. However, it is important to note that the decision-making process can take significantly longer due to the sheer number of people involved, and many ideas may get dismissed, which can actually lead to a decline in staff morale. Therefore, it is essential that the manager has good emotional intelligence to ensure that this doesn't happen when dismissing a team member's idea. The next management and leadership style we're going to look at is Laissez Faire. In contrast to an autocratic style, Laissez Faire has a much more relaxed feel for employees, providing them with the freedom and autonomy to do what they think is best, with full control in the decision-making process. Laissez Faire managers have very little influence. They are basically monitoring and facilitating the workforce through the delegation of tasks, and it is up to the employees to problem solve and provide results. This management style requires high levels of trust and typically works best in a business which has a highly skilled and experienced workforce who are also intrinsically motivated. Whilst this style may appear great for employees, it has many critics who argue that employees will typically only do what is expected of them within their job description if they're not pushed further by their manager. Thus, they may just do the basics if they haven't got a manager to inspire or motivate them. And just because a workforce is highly skilled and experienced doesn't mean that individuals within this team will be able to self-motivate or set themselves deadlines effectively. Therefore, to effectively use a laissez-faire style, it is important that the manager at least provides direction and deadlines before leaving employees to get on with the job. Now we're going to have a look at the paternalistic approach. Within a paternalistic approach to management, there is a dominant authority figure who acts as the head of the family, in this case which would be the head of the workforce. Effectively, they're treating all employees as a member of a large extended family. However, in return for this approach, they expect high levels of loyalty and trust from their workforce. Within a work environment with a paternalistic approach to management, the employees are expected to trust that their manager knows what is best for the business and also will consider them and how it will impact them when making decisions. Essentially, the employees have a voice which will be heard, but the manager will always have the final say. A great benefit for employees who work for a paternalistic manager is a culture of the work environment. Typically, there is great emphasis on people and education, ensuring that people have the tools to do their job effectively, whilst providing them with the opportunities to improve themselves through things like qualifications and training courses, which in turn supports the development of the business. However, like in most families, fractures can appear through disagreements, which are likely to happen over a long period of time. due to employees disagreeing with their manager's decisions. So for this style to work, it is crucial that the manager listens carefully to employees and doesn't just play lip service. Otherwise, the trust and loyalty that has been created may be destroyed completely. The next style we're going to look at is transformational. The transformational style of leadership is focused on the needs of others rather than the needs of the managers themselves. Put simply, a transformational leader will put employees' needs before their own. This is an increasingly popular approach to leadership, particularly in businesses where culture is considered to be crucial to employee satisfaction, productivity, and overall business success. Ultimately, a transformational leader strives for culture change and doesn't work within the existing status quo to support the business to achieve its aims. This is achieved by driving improvement in performance through a proactive approach whilst motivating and empowering employees over a long period of time, which in turn creates a culture of commitment across the workforce as they feel valued and part of something special. The next style we're going to look at is transactional. The transactional approach to management is focused on the supervision of the employees, the aims of the business, and the performance of the team. In contrast to transformational leadership, a transactional leader would work within the current status quo of the organisation. Very rarely would they actively pursue a positive change within the business or challenge the current approach. Instead, they are there to direct employees, which is then followed by close monitoring of their performance, ultimately utilising a rewards and punishment system which is believed to effectively motivate its employees. The simplest way to view transactional leaders and their relationship with employees is to view it as a give and take relationship which is results focused, within which the manager offers the employees something, which is typically a task, and the employee is then rewarded in return for doing the task to the required standard, or punished if they do not. And the final style that we're going to look at is charismatic. In its simplest form, charismatic leadership is centred on the leader's ability to charm and persuade people, particularly their employees. To be an effective charismatic leader, it is crucial to be able to not only engage an audience, but to also motivate and persuade others to commit and pursue the leader's vision or aim. A charismatic leader would typically have a lot of confidence and excellent communication skills to get their message across, whilst at the same time be willing to make personal sacrifices and take risks to achieve the goals of the organisation, which in turn inspires the workforce around them to take on the leader's traits and qualities, thus increasing their own commitment, productivity and performance at work. Okay, so now you've been introduced to the various styles of management and leadership, let's now see if you can apply that knowledge in the following tasks. So the first task I want you to do is, which style of management and leadership would you use and why? The second is, which style of management and leadership would you least like to be managed by and why? And the final task is to research some famous leadership quotes on the internet and justify your favourite quote. So if you want to pause the video now and have a go at those 3 tasks, and then press play when you're ready to continue. Okay, I hope that's helped give you a brief insight of the various management and leadership styles that are available to you. If you've got any questions about any of the content that we've covered today, please comment below, or go onto our Facebook page at 2 Teachers Business, and we'll talk to you about them there. Thank you very much.